New footage from Israel's military on Saturday showing troops uncovering a tunnel network and more airstrikes in Gaza. The Israeli army says these airstrikes have eliminated more than 15 armed terrorists. This after heavy fighting continued Friday night, reportedly killing 200 people in 24 hours. That raises the toll to over 21,500, about 1% of Gaza's original population. On Friday, South Africa launched a case against Israel at the UN's International Court of Justice, accusing Israel of committing genocide in Gaza.
South Africa is accusing Israel of genocide. That's interesting, given that the white South African population is on a steady decline. I wonder why. According to Google, there has been a steady decline in the proportion of the white population from 11% in 1996 to 7.3% in 2022. So within less than 30 years, the white population went from 11%, double digits, barely, to single digits, 7.3. It almost looks like the white population is slowly dying out. One might say it's being genoed. Now, I've heard stories from South Africa, one of which goes like this. Because the government is so bent on hiring black people, they completely overlook qualifications. So if you're a white person and completely qualified, they'll pass you over for a black person to hire more black people. Now, I can believe this because in the West, they do something similar. Diversity quotas. So if you're white and qualified, no. All they care about is diversity. And here's another reason why the white South African population is on the decline. Because South Africa, is adding more people, which are probably non-white, from neighboring African nations. This article is talking about how the South African economic strength is fading because it's adding more people than it can cope with. That sounds familiar too. For example, America. You have hundreds of thousands of illegals migrating into the US. How long do you think the US economy will be able to support that? So, as a result of white South Africans being discriminated against and all the migration into the country, the white people are being systematically, in my opinion, genoed. Alright, back to the video.
A ruling could take years, but in the meantime, the court could order a provisional ceasefire. Israel has rejected the claims of genocide, calling them baseless and accusing South Africa of working with Hamas to destroy Israel.
South Africa is cooperating with a terrorist organization? No, they're just saying that because you're killing so many civilians, it looks very much like a geno. But like I said earlier, South Africa accusing someone of geno is kind of rich, considering the fact that, in my opinion, that's what they're doing to the white population of South Africa. But anywho.
Israel's defense minister says intensive military action in Gaza will continue, quote, until our goals are achieved.
Until our goals are achieved. Those are dangerous words right there, because what if their goals are to do what the South Africans accuse them of doing?
Tank fire and aerial bombs struck the city of Khan Yunis overnight, leaving hundreds buried, including children. In Rafah, this 13-year-old is one of over 2 million displaced Gazans. After an airstrike destroyed her shelter, she is once again without a place to live.
Where am I supposed to go? Children were killed here. 26 people were killed here. I'm terrified. I'm scared, and the thought of me being killed or my other brother being killed just crossing my mind repeatedly.
Wait a minute, she's 13 years old? Damn, her English is better than the global news narrator. Hell, her English is even better than mine. Anywho, back to the article. Video, I mean.
At the same time, video released by Hamas on Friday shows fighters attacking Israeli tanks and other military targets in Gaza. Nivrita Ganguly, Global News.
Alrighty, let's sum up this video with reading some of the comments. According to the Global Peace Index, South Africa has been ranked the 10th most unsafe place in the world. Gee, I wonder why. This index also estimates that violent crime consumes as much as 19% of the country's GDP. Wow. No wonder the country's going broke and poor. So hey, if they spend 19% of the country's GDP on crime and such, I wonder how much the West spends. Food for thought, I guess. South Africa, once the breadbasket of the continent, is now one of the most dangerous places on Earth. The well-ordered systems and infrastructures once maintained to the highest standards are now neglected. Well, yeah, the country's going broke. Farms that once fed thousands of people. You know, didn't that Lauren Southern make a documentary called Farmland or something? I didn't watch all of it. I watched some of it. It basically talked about the plight of the white South Africans and such. But I heard a rumor that the South African government, they want to get more black people into farming. So they're buying up white farms. I'm not 100% sure of that. It's just something I heard. So yeah, what happens when the government gets into farming? Well, you get famine. Now, as a quick aside, as for the Lauren Southern, I used to like her, but she had kind of a fall from grace, shall we say. South Africa has a lot of nerve to do this. Yeah, 'cause, you know, they're treating the white population like crap. And in my opinion, prioritizing jobs based on, you know, race is racist, which is kind of tied to geno. But anyway, moving on. I'm not even sure if I can mention the one that's talking about babies, so I'll just move on. And the last one I got here, is there any country that filed the case against Palestine for attacking Israel on October 7th? Well, the US is on Israel's side, so does that count? And for all those twisted yeetings that the Palestinians were committing in Israel, and again, taking and painting the hostages, who filed the case against the Palestinians? Well, people say that the Palestinians aren't Hamas, so there's that. So the way I look at this guy's comment, he's blaming the Palestinians for something that Hamas did. Okay. So by that logic, can we blame all the followers of the religion of peace for, you know, Islamic terror attacks? Well, according to this person's logic, we should be able to, but no, we don't. So anyway, as soon as I saw the title for the video, I have to admit, in a dark way, it gave me a laugh. South Africa accusing Israel of geno acts? Yeah, that's rich. Coming from South Africa. Anywho, take care out there in clown world.